Now proceed to statements regarding Ukraine and the victims of Russian aggression. I now recognize the honourable member for Ottawa South.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Ukrainian parents hugged their children while they heard the sounds of sirens outside. Some of them were saving up their little remaining firewood. Others were in cold, dark apartments. They listened to drones flying over the city for hours. Then they heard the deafening sounds of missiles. For Ukrainians, that's just a normal night.
4 long years since Russia launched its unjustified full-scale invasion of Ukraine. For 4 years, Russia has bombed Ukraine's churches, their schools, their hospitals, their maternity wards. Russia has abducted thousands of Ukrainian children. It has targeted Ukraine's energy supply, attempting to freeze civilians to death by bombing power plants and heating systems in the dead of winter. Yet the glory and freedom of Ukraine have not perished. They have instead persisted. 4 ans plus tard, la Russie...
4 years later, Russia is weakened. Its economy has been disrupted. Its forces are dwindling. It has gained terrain due to its superior manpower, but it seriously underestimated a type of strength that cannot be measured by force of arms. Courage, determination. The courage and determination shown by the Ukrainian people.
Consistent history of standing with Ukraine, we were the first Western nation to recognize its independence. When Russia illegally annexed Crimea in 2014, Canada launched Operation Unifier, sending Canadian Armed Forces personnel to help strengthen Ukraine's security and defense. Since then, Canada has become one of Ukraine's most significant supporters, providing substantial financial assistance and military training, and standing firmly with the Ukrainian people in defense of their very sovereignty. Canada's support has also been reinforced on the world stage. At last year's G7, leaders reaffirmed their united commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and long-term security, and Canada played a key role in advancing that collective response. Through coordinated sanctions, financial assistance, and sustained military support, Canada continues to stand with Ukraine alongside its closest international partners. In Sofia Square last summer, with President Zelensky, we announced that Canada would provide more than $1 billion to strengthen Ukraine's defense, including drones, ammunition, and armored vehicles. And in September, Canada stood in the United Nations with President Zelensky to call for Russia to return the thousands of illegally abducted Ukrainian children. Mr. Speaker, we're at a critical point in this war when the collective efforts of Ukraine and its partners have made the possibility of peace real. And to secure a just and lasting peace, Canada is bolstering our support for Ukraine. This morning, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and I announced new measures to further reinforce Ukraine's defences and increase pressure on Russia. Through Operation Unifier, the Canadian Armed Forces have trained over 47,000 Ukrainian soldiers since 2015. Today, Canada renewed Operation Unifier for an additional 3 years until March of 2029. Canada is also allocating a total of $2 billion in additional military assistance for Ukraine for the upcoming fiscal year, building on previous commitments to drones, ammunition, and contributions to the NATO prioritized Ukraine requirements list. Le Canada impose également des sanctions à l'encontre.
Canada has also placed sanctions on 21 individuals and 53 organizations, as well as 100 ships in the Russian Ghost Fleet. We have also lowered the price ceiling for Russian crude. These measures seek to restrict Russia's energy revenue and to weaken those who fund war.
Peace and real security will require strong, credible guarantees for Ukraine, because trust alone will not protect a nation fighting for its survival. We are determined to ensure that Russia will never again be in a position to threaten Ukraine or the peace and security of Europe. Canada stands as a proud and active member of the coalition of the willing. Let me be perfectly clear. Our unity is strong and our commitment is absolute. We will stand with Ukraine, not only in this fight, but in the work that follows, rebuilding its cities, restoring its infrastructure, and supporting its people as they recover from this unjust, tragic, and devastating war. Canada will remain steadfast in our commitment, in our partnership, and in our defense of freedom. So many Canadians, so many of our constituents grew up in communities shaped by the contributions of Ukrainian families, neighbours whose language, culture, and traditions have long been woven into the fabric of our beautiful country. Ukraine's colours, blue sky over golden fields, symbolize peace and prosperity. They represent the horizon Ukraine once knew and the future its people deserve. That is why we are committed to protecting. That is what we must help restore and rebuild. Mr. Speaker, last year on Ukrainian Independence Day, Canada's Prime Minister stood with President Zelensky in Kyiv and made a solemn promise to the Ukrainian people. Through the end of this horrific war, he stated, and when peace comes for Ukraine, and it will come, he said, Canada will be there. Because, Mr. Speaker, Ukraine's fight is our fight. Their struggle is our struggle. And their independence will be our victory. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Merci beaucoup.